Mhm.
Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for the Committed Chronicles. We are Sonny and Lisa, co founders of Committed to Us, and we offer a safe space for couples for encouragement of their committed relationships, to give loving accountability, to give techniques and strategies on how to get the relationship that you want and that you deserve.
Yeah.
Anything sexual?
No, I just probably try to keep things positive with us as well as try to make things the advice we give positive. So I'll just start off with today. I did what I thought I needed to do for the week. I'm on my days off now. So I'm like, you know what, I can do this tomorrow. Um, and Lisa is not a nagging wife. She could come in there and be like, well, you could get this done, you could do this and this and that. She's not like that. So, but what she does do is she handles her business. So in that, I come up expecting her to see her laid out on the couch. Thought I was gonna be slick and record her to sleep on the couch knocked out. I come up and record her working, doing some extra work. I mean, not nothing we had to do, but something extra. And immediately I was like, let me get off. Let me get off the couch and let me go do, because I'm in the basement watching the game and I'm like, it's halftime. Let me go do something I could be doing extra that I could be doing. I mean, the grass is cut. I got some of the things I consider as needs done, but I had some extra stuff I could do. Um, and I went on and took that extra time that I would have just been sitting there and got two things accomplished. And it was all because my wife inspired me with her action and not her words. So I want to give you credit for inspiring me today with your action. And I normally don't give you credit or don't say that, but I'm gonna give you credit today for doing that. And
Oh, wow.
thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay. So do I get like points like for this and stuff like that?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, that was nice, babe.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
You have anything?
Um, Positive. Let me see. As he said, he was on vacation, so he had to go back to work this week, and he's been really struggling, um, just a little bit. So I mean, I know you pushed through, and you had to make it. So I'm glad you pushed through instead of
First week back was rough.
It was very rough. So he was a little irritated on some things. I just I let him have his
Tantrums.
time and his tantrums. Yes, because I understood. Well, you were off 3 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 weeks, and then you have to go back to work. I would imagine, I'm never able to
rough.
take that long of a time off, but I would imagine that it'd be really hard to go back to work with me. Yeah. So
Jealousy is not a good color on you.
No, jealousy is not, and I'm going to be envious. Yeah, the weeks that I had to get up every morning and you were chilling, living your best life.
I was doing laundry and stuff. I was doing, I was making it worthwhile. I was doing things.
All right, after you got that 10-hour sleep.
Anyway, did you have anything positive you want to add?
No, I mean it's been a good week. I'm glad it's the weekend. I'm sad to see Sunday go. It's like 2 days, and I'm back to the grind. So, I mean, it is what it is. But we had a good week. We did some events with our children. We have working. Both of our teenagers are now working, so that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
So
it's different.
It's very different to see them come into their own, and I think we're figuring out that in a couple of years that we're going to be in our empty nest place, and I think it's going to be fun. What say you?
Yeah, it'll be an adjustment. It'll be weird at first, but
I think you'll like it.
We'll see.
I think you'll like it.
Hopefully.
Okay. I think you will. I think you will. All right, you want to go into today's topic?
So how many people do we have on so far? I really wanted to get some help from y'all and name somebody, celebrity of any timeline, celebrity that you would say got no. You go out. Let's say there's a group of y'all go out and y'all see a male or female, and you're like, dang, those friends ain't the real friends because they wouldn't let them come out the house like that. So I want, if y'all can think of a celebrity that basically um, did not get a good advice from his friends and family. My first one that comes to mind, and y'all can name whoever, is John Morant. Because the stupid stuff he done did in the last whatever year or so, um, I felt like his family and his friends did him a disservice because somebody should have been stopping him along the way. So in the chat, y'all just name whoever y'all can think of. I got another one, a singer that comes to mind, but whoever y'all think of off the top of your head.
Okay, someone said Pete Davidson. Do you know who he is? He's, I think, on SNL, and he for a minute was dating Kim Kardashian.
I know who it is.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're right. He has had. Yeah, I don't think he has the best people in his corner because he's been doing a lot of silly stuff.
What did he do?
Well, getting with Kim Kardashian, I'm like, that probably wasn't the best. Right after she got divorced, so those are, the rebound, and I think he may have thought, that was going to be the one. I just think she was just trying to, I don't know, like not necessarily sow her wild oats, but I guess get more confidence. So I think he was that. Yeah. So anyway, that relationship didn't work, and then he got in with a couple of other. He's like a serial dater. Now that I think about it, he dates a lot.
So it wasn't one thing.
Yeah, it wasn't one thing, but I know he did something and ended up running into somebody's house. So, okay. Yeah. So that is. Oh, then we've got Kanye, which. So I will say, I think there's some mental illness in there.
Right.
I think he just has not been able to function since his mom passed.
Okay. Okay.
I really.
And meds, if you're not taking your meds.
And if you're not taking your meds. Okay. What I will say about Kim Kardashian, I know she gets a lot of flack from people. And, my whole thought on that is everybody made her rich. And why y'all mad about it? Because you didn't have to watch the video. And she wouldn't be a billionaire.
Okay.
So, while everybody's getting on her for how she got her money, I really think she loved Kanye. And she tried to be that supportive person, but you can only do that for so long.
So is that your person you're naming?
Who? Kanye? No, somebody named Kanye.
No, I mean Kim.
Kim? Yeah, I'm so let me just, I'm always for the underdog. And I think that Kim did not get the best. She gets a bad rap. And I think, she took what she had and made it gold. I mean, you can't be mad at her, but yeah.
Okay. So we have what? Whitney Houston is another one?
So we have Whitney Houston. Oh, yeah. Whitney Houston. I think, Whitney Houston.
Okay.
But what I will say, because, everybody wants to blame Bobby on that one. And I think it was the people around her as well that didn't. I can't blame it all on Bobby, because from what I've heard, they said it was her brother that introduced her to the whole drug scene. So yeah, she just didn't have the right support that she needed. Okay. And she was a moneymaker, and I think they were at the end of the day just looking for her to be that money and not not pour into her, I guess.
I got one. I wanted to see if anybody would name it. MC Hammer. MC Hammer, if y'all don't remember how much money this Bama lost listening to friends and family and just doing for too many people. And that's one thing I try to tell you is, like, don't be trying to help everybody. We got to sweep our own front porch first, because you can have millions and go broke trying to help everybody.
You're right.
So yeah, that
quit.
So that was my biggest one, was him. When I watched that happen when I was younger, that was kind of a big. I kind of took that and went, whoa, yeah. Shout out to Dion doing his thing right now. So
oh yeah.
But yeah, that was my big one that I thought his friends and family kind of let him down, because he was trying to do it. He's trying to do it for.
Well, they were all there waiting for the money. Like, nobody was, saying no. No one was saying, hey, you should make sure you're not paying for everybody to fly. But I hear that with everything. Like, even like New Edition, they've talked about, they were trying to floss for everybody. So they're not where they should be. Because of just the perception of wanting to help everyone and to be that come up story for everyone.
Oh yeah.
So, and then yeah, someone said for Whitney, yeah, she wasn't able to be her true self. I don't think she even really knew who she was. I think, yeah, I just think she was a music machine, and her gift was, yeah, was kind of used against her. So,
and that's part of why I brought it up. I want people to see in those relationships, friends, cousins, family, all relationships have kind of a similar thread to where, a person can want that ego stroke and can want to get it from the wrong place.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like obviously I want you to give me compliments. I want to hear these things, but some friends and family will use that and blow your head up. And when they got the hand out right behind your back, trying to wait for you to, get happy and then just give them something because they gave you a compliment. Right. So I want, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because we were dealing with another a couple where I think maybe the guy was looking at maybe the grass being greener, if you will.
Right.
So
right. Yeah.
So what I wanted to say to that guy is, sometimes we can get gassed up. We can get bad gas. You looking over there thinking, oh, because that lady's giving you a compliment and pumping you up, that she's gonna be the better mate. But sometimes people can put on that fake friendship long enough to get something they want out.
Right.
So
and even it doesn't even have to be like female friends. Like I know, I've said like when we first got married, I mean, it was a lot of family for you, which kind of was hard for me to. I still to this every time I think about it, I just don't understand it. I've never been so. I've never been. I'm trying to be politically correct. I have never seen the admiration of a family member like I saw with you. And
admiration. Okay.
I will say that a part of me was very jealous because I didn't understand. Like my family dynamics are totally different. We will, we ride or die for our family. Yours was just a little bit different, and it was like when I say stroking the ego. So he got it from everywhere, from his job, from his family, and so when he would come home, he wanted me to be that, and
that's why I'm one of the people. Like, sometimes you could get lost in that mess.
Yeah, and I think you didn't know. I really think that you just thought that was normal, and I'm like, but I see it in our son. I see how you are very charismatic, and our son is, and I see how that drives people. He just is that light that people. It's just natural, and I get that. But every once in a while, even with him, we have to say, "Hey, let me give you the real expectations, and don't take all this as this is gold." Like 9 times out of 10, they want something. So it
was easy for me to tell him.
Yeah, it's easy, right. Oh, absolutely, yes. Because
I see it all over him. Like, whoa. So I see what you mean.
Yeah. So and that validation, it is like no other. And I know in the beginning we didn't have those. I think I was just in my feelings about it, like, whoa, and I didn't know how to talk to you about it because it was so different than my family dynamic. And I think that there was the jealousy. It was, what do they want? It was a lot. So I think you had to see it too.
Oh
yeah. So I mean, validation it's important, and I will say for me being jealous about the validation you were getting from everyone else, it did make me put up a wall. Like I was like, I'm not going to be that groupie. I'm your wife. I'm not the groupie. So, but I did have to understand that you still needed the validation from me, like as your wife. So I had to like put it in perspective, and I guess not be in my feelings, but I was in my feelings.
Sometimes personal work ain't easy.
Yes,
I get it,
and I had to really, like you, even when it was, Okay, so.
Okay, I don't even want to know what that thought was.
Yeah, so I'm the information guru, and I just hear lots of things. So what we're going to talk about today, which I just find fascinating. Yes, I was not a fan. Definitely not a fan. there is a word going around called the gray divorce, which is interesting to me. And I guess because there's been a lot of couples that are calling it quits, like a lot of celebrity couples. Well, we know celebrity couples, so it's been a lot. Like
Right.
I think let me see, it's the guy from what's the Marvel? No, not the Marvel. Wolverine. I don't even know what his name is.
Jack.
Yes, him. So he.
Go ahead.
Human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So he's been married for like 27 years, and him and his wife have decided that they're going to amicably split, and they're the best of friends, and they still love each other, which is always weird to me. And it could be just because I'm lightweight petty. Because
that's his name. Look,
Hugh Jackman. Oh, we messed it all up. Okay, Hugh Jackman. Okay, so after 27 years, they're deciding, we're gonna just part ways, and it's just kind of, I don't know, and it just is my thought process. Like, if you've put in that many years, why is it not worth pushing through? Why is it not worth trying to figure out what the issue is? Because that's a nice lifetime together to have to, I guess, start over. And I mean, unless there's something major, but I mean, 27 years, you've been through some stuff. Why would you throw in the towel now?
Right.
What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. So I don't ever think of people as you do feel like your life is wasted. So I get where you're coming from, that you wasted some good years and stuff. But I also see another side to it where you both could look at it like not starting over, but like growing together from this point. You know what I mean? Like replanting or repotting the soil or something. It's kind of a way I like to look at it more than just you're done and you're dead and you're just I just feel like you grow, and through whatever you went through, you should be better for it if you know how to make the adjustments. You should make yourself a better person for it, good or bad, out of the experiences. So I do agree with you. Like, it's like, y'all done did all this. I mean, you should be able to, made it this long. You do. It makes you wonder. Like,
yeah, it just makes you kind of wonder. And you're right. Unresolved trauma it was never addressed. And now, so somebody's got to pay up. But they did this article and they talked about the gray divorce. And basically what they're saying is that it's a split or separation after being married for, many, many years.
Right.
So
right.
I guess the gray hair.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And so, they talked about a few things, and one of them was like the walls were closing in on a person and they want to upgrade. And I think social media, and I'm always going to say social media has really messed up relationships, because we see the nice, shiny, and new, and we look at what we have, and
it ain't just social media, but yeah.
Well, yeah,
everybody's phone gets upgraded, everything.
Yeah, right, absolutely, yes. So we're in that world where we gotta upgrade. So you look at this person that you've been with for 15, 20 years, and you're like, I really don't like some of these things, and now it's so much that I don't want to be with you. So, I mean, how do they?
But it's funny. Do you look in the mirror and say, "Have I upgraded? Have I put in the work to upgrade?" And like Ellen said, "Hey, I'm just being real."
Okay.
And like Ellen said, some of that unresolved trauma is not just what your spouse, did to you. Some of it is through childhood. Some of it is
absolutely.
You brought to the already had before they ever met you. So So you need to get in the mirror.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm an advocate. If you don't heal that inner child, that you're going to be carrying that baggage forever.
Right. So your little upgrade you thought you was getting,
right,
they ain't gonna want you.
Right. That baggage is still coming. Like you just, But I think it's, or personal. Yeah. Or personal. Yeah. So the childhood thing is real. And I think, that upgrading, I think for that, if you are continuously knowing your partner and you're continuously learning together, then that whole upgrade thing kind of fizzles out, because you're constantly evolving and you're constantly seeing that person. Like, we're not the same people that we were in our 30s. Like, we're just not. And I would like to hope that we have grown together and learned new things. I think when you stay stagnant,
absolutely,
it just, it
Absolutely.
puts you in a bad space.
Right. But I mean, I look at it as we upgrading together. Like,
Right. We should be
you know what I
upgrading
mean?
together. Absolutely.
So you getting an upgrade. We both getting upgrades because we both upgrade.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I just think people mindset just needs to kind of shift on that.
Yeah. And yeah, and that new person will just start to reflect you.
Yep,
Right.
there it
Yeah.
is.
Everything new gets old. Absolutely.
There it is.
Because I know you've had some friends, and I know the dynamics of your job, your friends. You've got a couple of friends that they always upgrade, like relationships, cars, everything.
They think they do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a real thing, and I always just if we're evolving together, then we can both be shiny together. Okay, Evan, I'm a classic with the top down. Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And I think I'll say it again. Like, after so many years, you just shouldn't throw in a towel just over stuff like that. Like, because who are you? I mean, you. I want to upgrade and I want to find something new, and you still rusty. Like,
right. But again, I don't think people look in the mirror. I don't
right,
think they're looking at themselves. They looking at what they get.
Yeah.
Hands out. People go to church that way.
Yes.
What can I get, instead of going there with a service mindset sometimes. So sometimes you got to give too.
Yes. And okay, so yeah, you should definitely do your individual marriage counseling. Yes, you may be. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
That's not being done enough.
And I think that, yeah. Because you bring everything into your marriage, and then it's just a matter of what you want to share with your partner and what you are willing to work through with your partner.
So that's a good segue. Actually, I wanted to show y'all this game that Lisa and I picked up recently. And I think a lot of new couples or people that are thinking about getting in a committed relationship should, because everybody doesn't know what kind of questions I ask, and they don't know themselves well enough to even ask certain questions. They're still figuring out themselves. So we got this game recently that I think people should pick up, even if you've been married for a while. I think sometimes you don't ask the small questions. People talk deeply, and there's like 3 different levels to this. There's like a I don't know what you call it. I say, actually it says it on the back. I'm sorry. There's like icebreaker level, and then there's deep and deeper. So what it is it's just a bunch of cards with questions on it that would help you get to little questions that you don't think to ask. So sometimes people get in ruts and they don't ask those little questions and don't know little things about their spouse. Like, I mean, you should know their favorite color, but I mean, it's just some light stuff that you should know, building from the outside in down to their core. And that's just a game we picked up, and we are going through that, and we're going to see if we want to probably try to get that spread so people could, one kind of 2-in-1 special, have like a game night and learn a little bit about their spouse, that a little deeper level about their spouse that they may not be able to get in tune with, if you will.
Yeah. You want to try one of the questions? You want to just read? I'm not going to be put on the spot because you know how I can't.
You can pick a card. You want to pick one? Oh my gosh. Here, I'm picking one. Okay, not that one. Hold on a minute. What? Ooh, not that one either. This is the deeper, y'all. Hold on, let me get something lighter, because
this is the little raunchy.
This is the deeper one. Okay, what is a non-negotiable for you in a relationship? There's one.
Okay, a non-negotiable for me. Let's see. Lack of, no communication. Like, that's a non-negotiable. Like, we have to speak. We have to communicate. We got to talk things out. That's a non-negotiable.
Okay,
and because I think anything that you can talk out, you can resolve.
What is y'all? In the chat, y'all tell us what is y'all's. What's your one non-negotiable? What did you tell your spouse, or what did you find out recently that is your new non-negotiable?
Because it could change.
That you just can't go for that. No. Yeah. What is y'all?
Oh, and physical abuse. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Physical. Yeah. So I guess physical abuse and communication. Yeah.
No, you got too much family. I could have never done that anyway.
Good to know.
I couldn't have done that. No.
Okay. So
not that it was ever a thought, but I love to see women with, men in their family that just would not allow that to happen to them because it shouldn't.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and physical or verbal, because I think sometimes we focus so much on the physical, but there's some verbal abuse that can take a person down and really diminish, their spirit. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I think physical and physical.
Oh,
Physical.
wow.
Okay,
That's
so
a good one. Those are some good ones.
okay, so another non-negotiable date nights. Yeah, you're
I
right.
like
I
that.
mean, yeah, and those are like
Wow.
boundaries, infidelity, abuse.
Ooh, leadership leading me. That's deep.
Okay, yeah. And pouring into your partner, absolutely, yeah. So,
wow, those are good.
those
Y'all
are
got
good.
me. Y'all got my.
Those are good. And
Woo!
actually,
Look.
some of the stuff that you're saying, okay, drug usage, it's in this Great Divorce that this article that I read, and they pinpointing basically everything. The poor communication, not just talking, but understanding. Like, I can talk to you all day and it's no connection. Like, I can talk to you like you are a associate at work, but I shouldn't be. It should be at all times us trying to connect.
Well, where do you place that? I think people, when you're in that situation, I think there's probably work to do on both, but it feels like it's just your partner not listening, not hearing you.
Right.
And there's probably some communication stuff on both ends.
But,
But I do understand it because I know we both have felt that way before.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I've been saying this. You should just know this. I shouldn't have to keep saying this.
Well, some stuff you're going to have to keep saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know that was a problem with us.
You
you were like, I told you this is what I need, and I'm like, great, and I understand, and I'm there. However, I'm not you, so it's not always rolling. That film is not always rolling in my head.
I know that one time I was like, I know I'm not saying this in Spanish because I felt like I said it 10 times. So I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because I remember some of those. I was like,
and then you would be like, are you listening to me? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Come on. You say it like that.
Oh, yeah, and so so that communication, so the communication. I know, like, for me, being in a very structured household where I didn't feel I had a voice, communicating with you, I felt that I should be able to just I can tell you everything because I'm a grown woman now, and you're gonna be able to take it. And I had to check myself on my tone when I communicated with you, how and how it was coming off, like So once again, that was inner work, and sometimes I have a therapist now, even though we're married, we're in a thriving marriage. I still have a therapist just so that I can check myself on the things that I know I don't always have a handle on, and not to, cause any conflict, in the thing. So I think that that communication piece, I think that is just the number one thing. If you are not talking, what can you resolve?
Right.
What can you resolve? And then one of the other things they talked about was great expectations, and basically, in your vows till death do us part, that can be overwhelming for some people because they're like, I gotta
forever.
Right. So I think that's another reason they were saying, like, the divorce rates are higher after you've been married for so long.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I feel like some of that's work ethic, like willingness.
Yes. Your willingness.
Your work.
Do you want it?
Right. Your want. Yes.
And are you willing to work at it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we are a selfish society. And I think that can cross over into your marriage. Absolutely. If you're not working on yourself daily and you're not, quieting that inner voice.
Yep. 3 W's: willingness, work, and want.
Yeah.
I think you got to be willing to put that in. We can show you the how. People can show you how and the tools, but if you don't start with those things,
right, absolutely,
you ain't gonna make it to the how.
Yeah. And so, willing. Okay. Not creating your expectations instead of realistic expectations. Of that person. And that's a conversation that we have had to continue. Like, your expectations, they may change, and some of them may stay the same, but you still have to have those conversations, especially when you feel that your partner is not up to that level.
What do you mean?
Well, what do I mean, sir? So for us, one of the things is our connection. Like we, intimacy and how you look at it versus how I look at it. And it's always based on our upbringing has been different. So, yours is there and I can get in my mind and not be focused. So I know that we've had many, 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 many conversations, many come to Jesus moments where you're like, hey, I'm not getting this. I need this. And once again, that's, with communication. But, what I can never say is that I did not know your expectations. But what
might not have you might not have agreed to this, huh?
Right. But you did also have to realize that some of yours were unrealistic.
Yeah. Maybe. The trampoline thing, maybe that was a little. Maybe. Okay. I get that.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Work ethic needs to be applied to marriage. Yes. Absolutely. And I remember I told you that when there were times when you were like, I'm done. I'm like, you go to your job, you learn all these new things, you put in all the effort, but you don't want to put it into the marriage. And you were like, well, marriage should be easy. Marriage shouldn't be hard. I'm like, you got to work at it like you work a job. So I know that was.
I know that now, but yes, you're right. I was like, this ain't the way it was in the movie. Yeah, right.
I'm not sharing.
But you don't want to.
I'm not sharing about the trampoline.
She don't want to. Yeah. Yeah.
He has a bucket list. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. I don't know if will ever do everything on your bucket list.
We got half of them. That was good. Had a good run of it, and we still kicking, so we might make it. I say 75% is pretty good.
75% is a C.
I mean, it's passing, right?
Well, it is passing, absolutely.
We can go for A if you want to. But
no, I'm good. A C is passing. A C is passing. I'm going to go to the next.
Slapping. Careful.
Yeah, careful. Okay, so what about another thing they said was changing lifestyle. So, I'm not shooting for 90%. I'm good.
Come on, let's get it inside now.
Loss of income, loss of job, sickness. Because there are some people, in sickness and in health, sickness comes and they can't handle it.
Yeah. I'm impressed when people do that because
yes, C's get degrees. Absolutely.
True. But I'm impressed with people like that because I'm honestly, I don't know, like our kids were born healthy. I mean, I see people go through, just like Down syndrome, just different things, and I'm really like, my hats are off to them, the parents that are able to go through that and be positive. That's I can't even sit there and act like I would know how to handle that. So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And loss of income, if you're used to a certain lifestyle and money is funny, that can cause frustration. And I think for men, like even when we went through our, our bankruptcy and stuff, it was a strain on us. Like,
well, yeah, because that was I'm cool with it being my fault, but when you have a bill to run off with money, and then the lawyers are like, oh, well, we can go after him, but that
you got to shell out 10,000 for us to go after him.
Me having the pride and all the stuff that I come from, that was a hard pill for me because I didn't ever see me doing that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So,
but I think for some people that would be crushing. Like they would not be able to recover from that because, there were some steps we probably could have done differently, and that was just
like not pick that builder. Yes.
Yeah.
Once he set that up, that was no way out of it. But you're right. That was rough.
Yeah. So another thing they talked about was jealousy and the second spouse, i.e., your job or hobbies.
And
come
on, keep going.
One thing that I will say, because of your job, you and even the adoration, it never really consumed you.
Oh yeah.
I think there's some that, their job is very, very important, and it's their identity. And I think we have to be careful putting that much stock in it, because you lose yourself, and that others and the spouse feels neglected.
Absolutely. But I watched someone do that. That's kind of what gave me that. I was on the wrong side of watching somebody do that. My dad kind of did that, where he was all consumed working, come home, sleep 2 hours, and go back to work. So I just kind of thought, man, there's more to life than just. I mean, yes, he made
A lot
great
of
money,
money.
great money, but you lose some moments that you can't ever get back to. So I just think we need to have more of a balance and not let our jobs be our life.
Mhm.
That's where you go to make the money to have a better life, not let that be you and your identity. Everywhere you go, that's how you're known. I don't. Yeah, that's why I would get mad at family members when they're like, "Oh, this is my cousin, the police." I would hate that. I'd be like, "I'm your cousin. I ain't.
Mhm.
That's my job. I don't come saying you're the engineer. I don't come saying that." So
Right.
I would actually get mad when people do that, because I'm like, that ain't what I'm known for. that ain't me. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. You gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, and I think for some people, yeah, that person may have and that's their
That's not
identity.
good though.
Yeah. So what happens is, when that job is over,
Right.
kind of
When you
go into
retire,
a
then what?
depression. You kind of go into a depression, and that other person, that you're supposed to be spending your life with, where are they? Where do they come in and help you with that? Because that's something that you've created.
If you do what I've seen other people do, by the time you get to retirement, you don't have that spouse no more, because now they're by themselves and doing things and trying to get relationships with anybody that'll say boo to them. So you don't want to wait that late to learn that lesson. But yeah, I mean, he definitely he's got it now, but it's kind of on that side of it. So
Mhm. Yeah. But once again, I think society builds people up based off of, it can build you up, and if you feel that that's your identity, then yeah, a spouse is going to have a hard time competing with that.
Yeah.
So
Very true. Very true. You got to check yourself.
Mhm.
You do. And I'm sure like there's times where the spouse is reaching out trying to say that, trying to communicate.
Oh yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And so don't ignore that. Don't keep going about it like they ain't speaking out and saying stuff and just ignoring it. And then, some of us, we've heard our spouse say something, we're not doing nothing with it. We're not putting in the work. We're not like clarifying it and making sure we're, checking back and saying, am I improving after a month or two or whatever?
Right.
I think it's both responsibility to make sure there's forward progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Communication. Like
and checks.
And checks.
People just talk sometimes and there's no checks and balances. There's no, I think monthly or,
there should be a weekly check
or something.
And then there should be like a plan.
Right.
Like,
but a lot of people have said communication to society. People, they know that word, but I think you got to add some things to it.
Okay. I'll give you that.
You got to add the checks and balances to that thing, with the accountability of keeping each other on pace. When we were saving money for the big house, when we were saving money for that house, we had a whole calendar of. First of all, we came and said, this is how much we're going to monthly take out of each check, each of our checks, and then we had a calendar next to the bed where we would write down what we had for lunch, even, because we were serious about that thing. But you did it though. I mean, if we had Subway sandwich, we wrote down how much we spent, $5, whatever it was. You roll your eyes, but that thing worked.
It did.
And we looked and we could see we were accountable to what each of us was doing daily. And now we didn't keep doing it that way, but we had a goal in mind that we agreed upon. Right. So.
And that could be something that people can do, like little mini goals, like, this, this many dates we need to go out on, this, this many dates, or, financial budgets, financial plans, like anything, that has a short term that you can check back in, and then you can see what's working and what's not working and adjust accordingly. Yeah. So, and I think like financially, we've always been pretty on the same page with that. So. Yeah.
I don't know why Nick talking. She don't need no money. She got it coming out her ears.
Let me see. Sometimes you're too close for to see the need to change. Yeah, and I think I think there are blinders that are put up. Especially like when you would tell me your needs. I was like, you'd be okay. Like, I'm like, you're getting everything else, and this one thing you keep harping on that you're not getting, which would make me feel defeated,
right?
Make me take it personally,
right?
Like, I'm doing this, I'm rocking this, and
but see, some of that list was society's list, wasn't my list.
Okay.
So I'm like, you can put them 5 things on the shelf, and I'll take this one thing I'm asking for. But that's where that communication comes in, and the listening.
By the government of support. Yes, absolutely.
Woo!
Yeah, that's something you would like. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I am in my head a lot, so I know that was where it was hard for me to see, that. But I guess in my mind, I'm like, the one thing that you crave the intimacy. I'm like, if that's all that I'm doing, I'm failing on everything else, and you're gonna be okay with it.
That's what.
I'm gonna be that.
You looked at it. That was not what my words were.
Okay,
right.
Let's be real. If you got sex all the time, and I wasn't a good mother, I didn't cook, I didn't clean, you'd be okay with that? You came home, the house was a mess.
Not the mom part. Because I can't sacrifice there. That would be wrong.
Okay, but being a mom is a lot.
You're talking to a guy though, like there's some things we're gonna sacrifice. So, but no, I get your point. And part of that adjustment we made was me adjusting too. I couldn't just roll the way I was rolling. Like I had to start knowing you. Like I was talking about getting into this game, knowing you, how you roll, how you overthink, and give you, other things, give you a relief from some of the things that you would get in your way of. Yeah. Your own way of. So I still had to do work. I mean, it's not just me sit back, request something, and I'm not doing the work. Right. But in the beginning, in the beginning, he was like, "Why can't you?" Right. Yeah,
that's what I expect. I'm like, really? Absolutely. Like that was one thing we didn't talk about.
That's the upgrades. That's the co-upgrades.
The one thing
you can't have one person growing, another one ain't. It ain't gonna work.
You're right. So yeah, we've definitely gotten and overthinking will kill the intimacy. I am number one with that because I can think myself out of a lot of stuff.
Out of a dream. Yes. She wake up sometimes because I'll be like, dang, she wins the trophy for that. I'm telling you.
But I do appreciate like the more that we talked about it, and I felt judged when I would tell you, because you as a man, you did not understand, like, why are you overthinking it? Right. Why can't you just do it? Because I couldn't.
Right. I did. That is how I feel.
I'm thinking about it 3 times, every 3 seconds, and you're only thinking about it like once a day.
Did I say that?
Yeah, I said that. You said that. Like I think about it, and I don't understand why you're not thinking about it.
I love how your memory works. I love it.
You
can't remember nothing else. You remember that.
We just had this conversation last week about that because you were like, what did you say? He was like, you're at work and you could take these moments of a break and think about, we're in the house together. And I'm like,
real detailed with this. Okay.
I'm like, I'm at work. Like my mind is in work mode. And you're like, no, I would feel, you said I would feel appreciated if you took some time. I'm like, I'm in work mode. Okay. Every 3 seconds. Yes. Every 3 seconds. Yes. Yes. Mothering is a lot. And, like I said, and I always say to you, I'm like, you're like, I work from home now. So we're home in the daytime together. As I said, every 3 seconds, I'm like, I can't leave my job to be with you. But then I'm like, let me flip it. If you were at work, would you be able to do the same thing?
If I work from home?
Yes.
Absolutely. What do you mean? If I work from home, I would have no pause. Yes, but I'm a guy. Like I said, I understand that you're not made the same way, so I get what you're saying, and I did grow into the point. I just at first, you're right.
But you still have your moments of frustration. Like last week, you were frustrated about it. Like, it's 3 days, and I've got no attention while you've been at work. I'm like, because I am in work. But to that point, I'm like, you know what? I can take a little bit more breaks to come see you, come stroke your ego.
And I am high strung, so I get that. Even for a guy, I get that. So, yeah, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that because
But I listened and I made some adjustments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where was we at?
No, I forgot. Yes. Yeah, and then they hit you. Let me just. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
my God,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
I
Don't
come
act like
down and
y'all-
say, I got 10 minutes. Okay, but let me just.
Mm-hmm. That ain't my fault now.
An hour later.
Number 4. Where was we at?
Oh, now you don't want to talk.
2, 3. Carry the 1. Where was we at? Change of lots of breach of trust was next, right?
Okay, sure. Let's go with that. Yeah. Breach of trust.
Ain't no dinner. I'll take that though. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that, Ellen. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll take that. Let the stomach growl. I'll take it. Breach of trust. Breach of trust. Thank you. Breach of trust was next.
thank you. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So when there's a breach of trust, if you don't find a good way to resolve it, we're not gonna get off this topic, so we just might as well. Yes. What does your kind of look like? Can you pencil me in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least he asks, "Can you pencil me in?" You just come up there and be like, "You busy?" Or here's the thing:
some of the same words.
If he comes into my office and I'm looking on the phone, because periodically I will look on my phone, and he will say, "Oh, you spent that time looking on your phone. You could have used that doing something else."
Yeah, very big word. Okay,
what?
That's a very big word. Periodically,
even if.
Woo. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm still a work in progress.
Mm-hmm. Yes, pencil me in.
You gonna try that one? Pencil me in.
I'm gonna try that one. Let's see how it goes.
Send me a calendar invite.
Breach of trust, number 5.
Okay. Yeah. So for when there is a breach of trust, financial infidelity, anything, both people have to be willing to have that conversation on what they feel was violated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll get an invite more than daily.
Mm-hmm.
More than daily, yes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes. Yeah, and the whole phone conversation, oh gosh, we get into it.
Yeah.
Because
that should have been one of those ones in the
that's not a reason for divorce.
No, not in the divorce. When you was naming some of the
expectations?
Just no, it was one of the ones you were talking about, like things being like a distraction or something.
Okay. Oh, the second job thing, the jealousy. Okay, yes. So he's jealous of me on my phone. You want to go there and elaborate?
No, I'm just saying, like that should be one of the things in there. Like,
yeah, he feels that I spend.
You be on there,
and you don't.
I mean, okay, it's to the point where you it isn't even just me. The kids even been like, "Dad, Mom, you be on." They even said it. So
I know all these people in this house that live with me are not talking about how much I'm on the phone, and they are just on the phone just.
All I'm saying is they ain't never said, "Dad, you on the phone a lot." They said, "Mom, you on the phone a lot." That's all I'm saying. I'm just stating facts.
All right,
we can call them up. We can. That's not true. It's not a true statement. Fair.
I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it because I know that I am not the only one on my phone.
No. No, not a lot.
But more than you would like. And so he is saying that the time that I spend on the phone, I could be pouring into him and being more productive.
I didn't say it like that, but
what'd you say?
I'm just saying it's more than a lot. Yeah. I think we just really need to get into that one night a week, just putting it away, because that's something we're still working on.
Yeah, we definitely still.
We just got to put it away.
Yeah, and And yeah, we did. Yes, we got to put it away. And a no tech day, which we, just so we could focus on each other.
Yes. I'm not gonna be bothered by it though. See, that's what I'm saying. So there is a difference. I'm not gonna be bothered.
I'm not gonna be bothered by it either. It's just the overthinker in me. Like I just
make sure this recording's on. Keep going. Just make sure it's recording.
I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna work on my phone issues because I do tend to have. Yeah, I'm gonna work on my phone issues. Yeah. So emptiness is another big reason for the gray divorce, and one night per week. Not sure if that would work. Yeah.
Not for everybody, but I mean, if you can. Also, I think it depends on what you said. Like maybe if you're already empty nesters, that would be easier to do.
Right.
Because we do have like family where you can see where everybody's at on our phone. And we check to see where everybody's at, make sure they're safe and all that. So
I don't know. Maybe we'll
maybe
start
not
small.
The whole night.
Yeah, maybe an hour. Yeah. Maybe an hour or two, just so that we can be in the presence of each other and spend that time without any distractions.
Right.
Like I mean, we do the date nights, but yes, the phone thing we need to do a little bit. I need to do a little bit better.
I don't think it needs to be all day. I just think like an hour or so would be good.
Okay.
I really do.
Uninterrupted.
Yeah. 30 minutes something.
Okay. All right. I think that's reasonable. I think I could do a couple of hours a week.
You might want to start with 30 minutes.
Let me start with 30 minutes. I'm gonna do.
Let's not.
I'm gonna do 30 minutes.
Let's not get crazy.
Okay, so the empty nesters, which I believe is a major thing for divorce. I think
that's causing divorce. That should be keeping it.
So here's the thing:
together.
When you've only focused on your kids and the rearing of the kids,
I didn't think about that.
The kids leave.
I didn't think about it.
And then you don't know that person because you've poured so much into your children, making them
and not got to know each other.
Okay. Like you get into a routine that I'm just gonna focus on the kids. Kids have and kids have activities. They do. So you're focusing. You're doing this, and this, and you and the spouse are just fly by night. The kids are gone. You don't have that to occupy you. Then what do you do?
Because y'all never did it.
Yeah, when you're looking at each other and you're like,
Look, that's okay. That's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got one will be gone this next year and the other one will be gone after that. And I think what we have done is we have been very intentional about spending quality time together, whether it's actually leaving the house or just being in the house. And I know it kind of looks funny to the children because they're like, y'all.
We didn't used to do it to this level.
Right. We didn't used to do it to this level. But I think you have to start now because it's going to come really fast. And if you don't have that foundation, it's going to be bad. That's like it's going to be like really awkward trying to, hey, it's just you and me in this house. What are we going to do?
That's true. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, or you could go back into, what I've seen some people, the kids leave and then they go into the roommate syndrome. Like you are so, because you've been doing this by yourself for so long. I mean, the kids have been the buffer. So yeah. So I know for us, we really, really have been intentional, even if it's a couple of hours, even if it's, going to the grocery store together, go sitting in the park. Like we went and got food and just sat somewhere else outside of the house just so we can, spend that time together. And relearn some things and have conversations that, are kind of hard when, you're trying to do everything for the children.
Okay.
So I think, yeah. And I've noticed a lot of people that, once the kids are gone, and there's things you can do. You can, there's line dancing. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can take up a hobby together there, learn, I don't play cards. So, you taught me cards. Like those were.
I almost had to take your black card. Yeah. She didn't know how to play spades, y'all. And I didn't know this. And I didn't ask the question, when we first. Not that would have been a deal breaker, but I was just shocked.
That was a question to ask.
I was really shocked. I'm like, what did you went to a HBCU and everything. I'm like, how you not know how to play spades? Yeah, that just.
So let me just say, my mother was the daughter of a pastor, and they were not allowed to play cards. So that is something my mother brought to our home where we were not
Mm-hmm.
allowed to have cards in the home. So it's just something that I never never picked up. And no, I don't know how to play spades. I mean, I don't.
I mean, forgive me for making assumptions, but I was just like, I was shook. I was like, yeah, I don't think I breathed for like 2 seconds. I was like,
You know what? Okay.
anyway.
That's okay. That's okay. But I do know how to play backgammon.
You're not helping. Not helping.
That's a game.
Whew.
It's okay. That's all I got. Anyway, that's all I got. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ellen. Yes.
Okay. But she was doing something. I mean, I say that. Yep.
Yes. So I'm not the only one that didn't know how to play spades. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get a spade game. Teaching tournament somewhere. And I didn't learn in college. You would think because I went to HBCU. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I need. Yeah. I have no excuse.
That's all right though.
I have no excuse. But I know how to play gin. What did you teach me? 500.
Rummy.
Rummy. Yeah, I know how to play rummy. Maybe. Maybe. Yes, we should have a spades teaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, because I can't play with anybody competitive until I know what I'm doing. Because I've seen people get upset.
Yeah. Well, you still won't be able to, but yes, we will do that.
Okay, that's something we can do.
Yeah. Still not.
Still not saying. Okay, I'm going to work on that. That's something else I'm going to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But right. So it's almost time.
So I'm like, we gotta get to 8.
Okay, so personality conflicts. I think, and once again, that goes with communication. So there's the politics. I can play. No, I can't even play Go Fish. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I can do Uno.
She play Uno.
I can play Uno.
She did play Uno.
I can play Uno. Personality conflicts. So what I've seen is
no.
Like politics. When people are on two totally different sides, politics can tear a household apart. I've seen that. When those conversations aren't had in the beginning, because we don't really talk about our political views or whatever. But I think just with the past couple of presidents ago, it brought out some tension in some marriages. So I think if you were for him, we would have a personally we would. Yeah.
Does anybody know what you said for him?
I'm not even gonna say his name. That the president that shouldn't have been president. If you were for him, we would have to have a lot of conversations, and I don't know. We would have had to agree to disagree, or if that would have been a breaking point. But I know, politics. I've seen it in my family where those beliefs can be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and religion. Yeah. And they can light a fuse. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I do wonder how people do that
when
they're not in agreement that way, because you talking about raising kids and
all of that.
So.
It affects all of that. And if you are two different denominations or two different totally religions, I've always wondered how is that balanced?
Right. We need to have someone on, because we do know a couple that they do that, but I don't think we've ever gotten a conversation. Well, yeah, I don't think we ever gotten a conversation, so we probably need to have them on and see how they do that, because I don't think
you have friends that
we know a couple that they're like that with two different religions.
Oh.
I think Larry and Katrina are.
Oh yes, absolutely, yes, two totally different religions. So I think for us that was very important that we were on the same page. Also with us going to church together, that was one of my things, because I didn't have that growing up. My parents went to two totally different churches, and it was always just really odd for me. And I like as a family for us to be in worship together. I was
just glad both your parents went to church, so I was like, well, yeah.
Well.
I always get that. Yeah, sometimes people ain't got nobody on the church. So anyway,
Okay, well, you're right.
yeah,
Okay, this has been a fascinating
right.
hour.
I had to wrap that up. We had 8 already.
We had 8 already. Whew, yeah, our conversations. Yeah. So my homework for this week is to do 10 to 30 minutes of no tech time.
Okay.
And you're going to pencil, you're going to send me some calendar invites.
Okay. All right, we can do that. All minds are clear. But no, y'all have a good one. We appreciate y'all coming out to the.
We'll do the trampoline next week.
Yeah,
we'll talk about the we'll talk about the trampoline next week because that's going to bring up a whole nother.
We can talk about in subject. We can talk about it.
Go ahead.
No, not now. I'm saying
because it wasn't my idea. It was not my idea at all.
Some of us are more creative than others. That's all. I was good in arts and crafts and things like that. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I didn't need no weed, so I was good. I was already doing that.
You didn't need no weed?
I didn't need no weed. My mind was
very clear,
creative.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to have
yeah.
Yeah. All right, all minds clear. Make sure this week that you are communicating with care and connecting with intention. We will see you guys next week. Have a great one.